Record number of Americans are now carrying credit card debt that they can't pay down. That represents half of all Americans who have a credit card and 40% of the population.
And many are now resorting to skipping meals altogether.
And the worst is yet to come.
And cue the fire. The numbers just came in, and breaking news, it's horrific. Or horrific times 10. And if you guys have those things called jobs, congratulations, that's going away. And if they pay you, it looks like real wage growth has actually turned negative. But breaking news, somehow they will tell you everything is so good. It is booming. Actually, new data reveals teens are facing the toughest summer job market ever recorded in history. Not just that, students that come here and study and get degrees are like, what do we do? Running out of options in the United States. So your kids are finishing degrees and like, what do we do? What's the point of even working when it's negative? And then they pay you $100, but then take $150. So what do Americans do? They slap it all on the credit card. Congratulations, you just hit another record. $1.2 trillion in credit card debt. And the banks say this is glorious. You'll get reports like this. Consumer spending looks strong, but higher inflation is a big reason why. Where you used to spend $100 at the pump, you've doubled it. Look at the growth. And in regards to growth, did you see that huge GDP number of 5? I mean, that's what Lutnick said. This was a few months ago when he said 6%. If you're like, when was this? It was 4 months ago. 5%? 6%?
Percent is 1.5 trillion in growth. And if we cut rates, you'll see 6s. And people would never, before Donald Trump walked into that office, don't think that's possible. And what's 6 mean?
Let's just put 6 in context. 6 was China.
And let me put this into context. Okay, 6% would be like you got to drop 50 pounds by tomorrow. There is a way to do it. You're just going to be losing a limb. You're going to love this one. We put on a whopping 1%. That was revised down the first time. Why don't you keep going? Also, cooking GDP is so easy. Give you a stimmy, GDP goes up. You spend it, GDP goes up. They hire people in the government, GDP goes up. And I like how Lutnick said, and then we're going to get a new Fed chair. They're going to lower rates. I got to break it to you. Before I do, let's hear about inflation. It doesn't exist if you just remove everything out of it.
Let's start with what we saw with GDP for the first quarter. We're coming in with a rate of 1.6%. So this is a revision down for first quarter GDP. The first read was 2%. Now we're coming down with the second read of 1.6%. And that is actually below the range of 1.7 to 2.2.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there is so much winning. I don't know what we're going to do with this. Also, we got inflation.
Okay, yeah. Lauren, you got it.
Okay, so April saw a big jump in inflation tied to gas prices. The Fed's preferred inflation gauge hitting 3.8%, in line with expectations, a 3-year high, and a big step up from 3.5% in March. Okay, take out energy, take out food, your core level.
There it is again. If you just remove, take out energy, take out housing, food. What do we have anything else left? It's not so bad if you just remove everything. You know what Americans are having to take out? Everything. They're going into debt, taking out credit card debt. They're taking out their 401ks. They're like, well, you guys do know you're taxed on it. I'll get to that in a second. More Americans are raiding their emergency savings just to fill up their gas tank. Well, actually, that's their savings. The 401k is now gone. You guys are saving 2%. Oh, and just to put this all in context again, it's going to get worse. In 60 years, it's only been this low twice. The pandemic and right before the 2008 Great Recession. So it's going to get worse. But we have a solution. The $250 Federal Reserve note with Donald Trump on it. No, this is not April 1st. Yes, this is true for the engraving. let's do this. Except maybe the lawyers did not see the U.S. Code 31114B clearly states the bullet has to strike him. The ear, like the president needs to be deceased. By doing something like this, it's kind of illegal. But what am I to say? Because I voted for him. I say maybe, change a few laws, get this thing legal. I wonder if this is illegal. I'm asking for a friend because I think 98% of this channel is Republicans, where I continually blow off my legs by questioning anything because I currently have Trump derangement syndrome, and that is the case. Because remember, kids, if you ever question authority, you got a syndrome. The White House intervened. Yeah, that is intervened. But here we go with the story. Is this illegal or not? The White House intervened to get $620 million, a deal for a company tied to Donald Trump Jr. Wait. Hold on. Do some digging here. About 3 months before the Pentagon announced plans to lend money. Oh, you're just lending money. That's okay then. To Vulcan Elements, Trump Jr.'s venture capital firm took an undisclosed stake in the company. That's kind of a lot of money, $620 million. But it is just a loan. And that is how the rich live in the money system of loans, which I keep trying to explain to everyone on this channel, and I keep getting corrected as if I don't understand it when you say, no, we're not in a debt-based system. No, this is currency. Yes, I'm aware it is currency. And then you school me that gold and silver is money and it's the Constitution, and I know this. And I also know that that is a Nissan Leaf XL, just like that, but a lot more money. Even though you call it a Ferrari and you put a price tag of $640,000, it is a Nissan Leaf, just like the last Ferrari is a Mazda MX-30. It is the same car. One is $430,000, the other one is $34,000. Also, in regards to gold, yes, I am aware that J.P. Morgan in 1912 said, gold is money. Everything else is credit. Now I have two questions for you. Since when did you start listening to the banks? Number one. Number two, that was 1912. When we were in a gold and silver system, it was money. Then the parasites, or some call them the elites, changed the system to debt is money. And that is why these 4 quarters right now, made of silver, which is an asset, is so valuable. I spent $75 for one. That is because we are in a debt-based system where this is currency and this is an asset. And this is the number one asset, which is gold. Gold is the number one. Silver, you're coming in at 5. And no matter how many times or different examples I use, like you're on an island, there's only seashells, and you keep going back to the same argument, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to give you back your time. You have very limited time on this earth, and then you face judgment. Unless you believe you're God, then you still face judgment. I'm trying to give you back the most valuable thing, time, where you can spend with your family. I keep telling you, buy this asset, gold. Buy that asset, silver. And then some of you are like, well, you haven't talked about Bitcoin. The bit scam. Buy this asset. And also, I'm aware it's not money. Yes, I am aware it is a speculative asset. But use assets to grow your freedom. And I'm sorry that you got a tattoo of J.P. Morgan on your forearm that says gold is money. And I want to teach you what he teaches his children, and his children teach their children. And your children can be wealthier than forever. But you have to uninstitutionalize them by teaching them what money is, what passive income is, and what assets are. And you could even go back to 1983. I got it just for you. Money, the baby boomers. Can they ever live as well as their parents? Probably not. Well, as you know, the baby boomers hold assets. And that would be this stuff. or that would be that stuff. And what it isn't, it wouldn't be either of these. Don't hold these. And this is a different type of debt. I don't want you holding credit card debt, Jerry. I want you doing this, and I want you passing this on to your children, and I want you to maybe share this video. Understanding this will actually be able to solve this. This was a comment, or this was on X. What happens, and this is like, the housing market's gonna crash. What happens when boomers eventually try to sell their homes or their houses, but no one can afford them? They don't. Rich teach their children to buy those, to never sell your assets. Never sell Bitcoin, never sell gold, silver, apartments. Buy as many assets in a debt-based system as you humanly possibly can get your little mittens on. And when rates drop on SOFR like this, last week SOFR, EFFR, saw the steepest decline in history. We were just at the 3.4s. Yes, that's the rate that Jay Bravo can buy properties at. And more importantly, things with like 5 doors or 10 doors, not just a single property, because you want to put humans in there that pay it down. So I'm at 3.5, and if it drops to 0, you bet I will be snapping up this even more so. Then when the price goes up, and even if it doesn't, the taxable advantages are so huge, you borrow against it. Now this says cash out refinance, HELOC. That cash is not income, not taxable. You spend it, invest it, whatever. I'm at 3.5. Most people are a lot more. So if you receive a paycheck, yes, you pay, could be 37% plus state. You could be over 50%. Your money is gone. This right here, see, 100, that just got cut in half, okay? Because you only get this now. But on this channel, I'm trying to teach you this. Or maybe you start a company and you start a corporation and you do founder shares. And you say, hey, pay me in founder shares. And then in 30 days, you pay the tax on that very low amount. Your founder shares of Amazon or Microsoft keep going up, but you don't sell. You will have to speak to your corporate accountant attorney on that one. There is lots of regulations that the rich know. When your share price goes up, you don't sell it. You never sell it. You don't sell assets. You take loans against them. You borrow against it at 3%. So the richest tax rate is that's it. Then you could do an exchange, a 1031. Pull the gains into a bigger property. You don't sell. Then you have a sweet property that looks like that. And then you buy things that look like that. And then you die. And then Donald Trump Jr. Doesn't pay tax on that. And then Donald Trump Jr. Does the same thing. And every day I come here trying to teach you the system, and then you argue with me, and you're like, well, I have no debt. Well, in a debt-based system, you're basically saying I have no money. I'm not talking about your credit card debt, Dave. I'm also not talking about your primary resident. Do you even know I'm looking at this one, Texas, Dallas suburb, you pay over $2,000 a month for the rest of your life, even when the home is paid off, because you have property taxes. Even though I have it paid off, listen, I'm not talking about your primary. I'm talking about all the other ones. And how do you offset that? You raise their rent. I'm saying it nicely. The government uses their psyops and comes up with creative words. They're like, oh, that's inflation. That's vibeflation. I'm not doing it. I have no idea what causes prices to go up. Oh, and this just in, the average human in America, you're spending $18,000 a year on groceries. I come here every single day trying to solve that. Notice it's a number problem. I cannot solve your number problem if you just sit there and argue with me. Give you simple number solutions here. Here's one way. This is easy. Anyone can do it. And then I show you bigger ways, and these are much bigger. Like, I bought one of these for $4 million. It's now worth $7 million. I'm now up $3 million. They're not even done constructing yet. I did 2 of them. So that means I'm up 2 on one side, 2 on the other. 2.5, 2.5. What is that? Can't even add. I'm going to go with 5. 5. One for 4. It's worth 7. That's actually closer to 3. Bought one for almost 7. It was under 6 something. Worth 7, 8 something, 9. What do I do? Should I sell it? No. So I'm up 5 or 6 million. Do you sell? No. Here, look. We're going to roll it. And on top of that, real estate gives you depreciation. I say, hey, bank, can I have $5 million, please? Now, to you, that would be like, wow, that's some income, man. You're going to have to pay. No, I don't. No. What can we rewind the tape? 3.5? 4%? And what else can I do? Buy more assets. Buy gold, buy silver, buy Bitcoin. Which someone said in the comment, oh, you're not talking about bit scam anymore. Which I will momentarily. Hey kids, you have a Head and Shoulders here. You also have a left shoulder here. You have a head here if you want to come down, retest it. That'll be another Head and Shoulders. So you have a mini one, you have a maxi one. Actually, if you look right over there, doesn't that kind of look like what's happening here? Also, just FYI, because you like to know what am I doing personally. Lots of trades on Bitcoin. Look, all those arrows, lots and lots and lots. I have I have a open long right here at 61,000. So if it wicks down here, hits it like it did over there, I will now own one more Bitcoin, but then I'll sell it when it goes up, and that's what I do. But I am okay with owning a $1 trillion asset, unless JP Morgan would call that credit. I showed you Blowfin. I trade on Blowfin, my crypto exchange, which they're giving you $900 there. What else? We got a game running, 100,000, and you guys are crushing it. Because that is what we do here on this channel. I help your digits go up. I have no narratives. I have no dog in the fight. I just tell you, hey, here's silver. You broke a trend line. What does that mean? I don't care. I'll buy more. It's perfectly fine, but you might want to know where it's going, and people are like, I'll never go down there ever again. You broke that. You're retesting it right now, and then you drop to the 200. You've already broken the 20. You come down to lucky number 69, Dave. Now, what you're going to do, Dave, is you're going to quote me because it's going to go back up like this, and it's going to go above that line, and you're going to go, ha ha, you said that it was going to go down, and then it's going to break that again. And then, Dave, you know what you just put in? Oh, it's not like I didn't warn you, but there is your Head and Shoulders. Here is where you comment in the comments section for a few months calling me an idiot, and this is where I never hear from you again. And again, I just give you probabilities on this channel. It is not to say that it's going to do that, but now you're going to want to know. If it does, put in that one right there. It would be probably at the end of the year. Yeah, that's down here too. I know you'll just buy more, but I don't know how that's solving your problem. Does that provide passive income? Does that allow you not to have to work? My extra 5 million provides that. I buy more, and then I put humans in there, and then they pay it all down, and then that's how the system works. And I get paychecks every single day. When I taught this in high school, the high school kids are like, is this even legal? Yes, and you're probably not going to listen to me nor do any of it. One kid actually did. Also, can I teach you another one that no one is taught? You're not taught this in school. The government will come out and be like, we're going to fire the Fed, and then we're going to lower interest rates. Hey, Jim, rates are going up. How do I know this is because, well, that's not what Lutnick said. That's not what JP Morgan said. I am aware that you teach people how to become multimillionaires, but it's different this time. Do you see the yellow line? That is the 2-year yield. This is the line that the Fed follows. Notice the blue line. It's under it. They have to raise rates because it is the bond market that controls rates. The Fed does not control rates. They do not control money. They control the Fed funds rate. That is the rate that the banks lend to one another, and they have to if they want to be invited to the party where they can get bonds cheap and then arbitrage them and make money, stealing money out of your account. That's what I teach on this channel. But as you can see there, rates are above the Fed funds rate. The Fed has to raise rates. And I think someone needs to sit the orange guy down and just break it to him, just give him the truth. Now, for those of you that are like, I want to make money now. I want to rock. I want to rock. Sorry, I went right into the 80s with that one. Market opened, red candle, no zone. Stay away, Larry. Although my student did not listen to me, he's like, I'm trading it down. All right, go ahead. I also did. He made 1,740 this morning. But if you were to have waited for the perfect setup, 1, you could have taken that swing trade. 2, you could have entered it right. Put in right here. You break that top. Look, go. Look at this. It's the same thing. Green, red. Green takes out red. Go. Without even the swing trade. Just the top of that to the top. Just one bar. 130 times 20, 2,600. And you're like, but your student, yeah, we did that. And we're like, okay, we're done. And if you want to learn how to do it every single day, I doing a course on it called the Stock Market Money Glitch. It's $299. And then it's going to $399 because of inflation. If you question that, you have Trump derangement syndrome. I'm serious. So after you're done trading, you're like, I don't know what else to trade. Bull market watch list and my options watch list. I can't guarantee that profit, but I can guarantee that it's you lock in at $50 a month, which is 40% off. You're welcome. So what are you going to do? You're going to start trading every day. You're going to make your digits go up. You're going to buy assets. Till the passive income's rolling in, you got it going on. You can quit your job. I'm just giving you the blueprint. And with that, I love you. I will see you tomorrow.